My name is Rob Wallace. I am your life coach and spiritual mentor, and this is Self-Love with Law of Attraction. Hello, lovely people, and welcome to Module 14 of your Self-Love and Law of Attraction course. And today's topic is Be Selfish. Now, what do I mean by being selfish? I mean take care of number one first. Now, oftentimes, when we do stuff for ourselves, that is, when we go out of our way to take care of ourselves, that is, when you, for example, take yourself away on holiday, or if you, for example, go and see a movie on your own, or if you take yourself out to dinner and you don't invite a friend, more often than not, someone would call you selfish. But why is taking care of you selfish? Think about that. For someone to call you selfish, what they're actually really saying is, you're not pleasing them, but you're pleasing yourself first before pleasing them. There's some screwy reasoning with that. And I stole that phrase from the wonderful Abraham Hicks, who said the exact same thing. When someone calls you selfish, like I said, what they're really saying is, you're pleasing you, but you're not pleasing them first. There's some weird reasoning going on with that. There's also something a bit more profound, right, about being selfish. Because what does being selfish on a profound level actually mean? Well, it really means this. You must take care of you in every single way possible, and you must take care of yourself first. For a very simple reason, and I said this in previous modules, if you are not functioning at your best, how can you possibly give your best to others? If you're not healthy in your mind, then how can you give healthy wisdom or healthy information in any way, shape or form to other people? Or if you've got a loved one who's in any sort of pain or suffering at all, how are you of benefit to that loved one if you're broken down and you're chaotic? What have you got to offer that person other than chaos? I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, okay? Say, for example, you have a family member who's an addict, or a family member who may be going through some sort of similar contrast. What I'm trying to say is a family member who, if they could get the right kind of help, can be raised out of the situation of suffering, right? They're in a position of suffering, but they can be helped. How does one help that member? By helping themselves first. The person who's going to help needs to help themselves first. Because if they're in a chaotic frame of mind, they're only going to be able to offer chaos to the person who needs help. For example, I've watched countless videos on Tony Robbins where he says the exact same thing to parents or to relatives of loved ones who's came to him, broken down, asking how they can help loved ones. And Tony's turned round and blatantly said, you're not going to help them by being in an absolute mess yourself. And the reason people get into such a mess is because they think all they should do is give, and not take anything for themselves. Okay? You must give yourself love first in order to become full of love, in order so that you can give love back out. If you're not giving yourself love, then you're going to have no love to give. If you're not giving yourself order, that is, If you're not ordering your own thoughts, you're not going to be able to give thoughtful advice. You see, if all you're feeding your mind is chaos, then all you've got to offer is chaos. So what I'm talking about in regards to being selfish, it's about taking time out for you to restore yourself, okay? To replenish yourself so that you will become full of use. If you feel empty of use, right, then you feel useless because you're less of use, you see? I spoke about this word in previous modules. If your fuel tank is running on empty, then you need to replenish that tank. You need to fill it up with usefulness, you see? You need to fill your tank up with usefulness. Your tank needs to be full of use in order so that you can be of use to those who need pulled out of certain situations. And that means you being selfish enough to look after yourself. Because being selfish means you are in the receptive mode, right? What that means is, and I spoke about this in other modules, you have to graciously receive as much as you graciously give. If you keep on giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and you're pushing back anything coming to you as gifts, then what you're doing is you're emptying your tank. If you're not going to be selfish enough to give yourself stuff while you're giving to others, then your tank's going to run on empty. Okay? You need to be selfish enough to make yourself full. And when you become full, you can then give back to others. Okay? So for example, if someone needs your help, make sure you are full of help. Make sure you have been helpful to yourself. Make sure you're full of help so that you can give help. Have you helped yourself? Yes, you're there to be of service to other people. But if you are not working, then how can you be of service to anyone? You need to be functioning yourself first. You need to be of function, right? And that way you can help others. Now, I want to give you a little bit of an example of what give and take means, and I'm going to give you a little personal story. And I've not done this much throughout this course, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to give you a little personal story, right? One day I woke up and I fancied an Indian dinner. I simply wanted an Indian dinner. So I said to myself, I did my manifestation, and that was it. I knew I was going to have an Indian meal for free that night. I didn't know how it was going to come. I didn't need to know how it was going to come. And what happened is this. I left my house. I took a long, nice walk into town with the intent of going to a buffet. And I realised I'd forgot my wallet. So I was about 1.5 miles to 2 miles from home. And I thought, I'm not going to walk back in to walk back out. I goes, it's fine. I'll just go home. It's okay. I don't mind. The buffet is always going to be there. You know, another time. And in my pocket, I had £1. And I thought, what am I going to do with that £1? I thought, should I go and buy something to eat? You know, maybe buy a chocolate bar or a bag of crisps. I don't know. I wondered to myself what I was going to do. And then I saw a homeless man. And I gave the homeless man my last £1, that £1 that I'd had in my pocket. Okay? I mean, I have money in my bank, but my bank card was at home, you see? So I gave my man the last £1 that was in my pocket at that time. And I went back home. And at my street, on the pavement, when I arrived there, half an hour later, there was £10 lying in the road. And that was a glorious night. I went round, I got a really delicious Indian takeaway, and I had my Indian meal. Things like that happen all the time. Whatever energy you put out, you always get it back, sometimes tenfold. So I went out on a journey which I was put on to give a homeless man £1, which he was really happy with. And I was happy for him that he was happy. You see, I gave and then I received. And I did both of these actions gracefully. So you should give with grace and don't forget to receive with grace. And what I mean by that is never refuse a gift. Never refuse a gift. And never refuse to serve. Do these both actions with grace, okay? And you will always be full of usefulness. You will be full of use and you will never run out of use. You will not become less of use. You will always be full of use. So be selfish enough to fill your own tank in order so that you've got a full enough tank to give, you see? And the way to fill your tank is to realize who you are and realize that you're infinite love and you have all the love in the world to give. And from that, you will receive. Okay? And so what I want you to do, folks, in terms of an exercise, I want you to every day take time out for you. Okay? This sounds really simple. This sounds as if it's not even an exercise, but believe me, I want you to look at your day and tell me, where do you actually take time out for you? Very few people take 100% time out for themselves. And I mean, come away from social media and take time out to sit down and be with yourself. Read a book, watch a movie, eat a bar of chocolate. You know, I'm not saying stuff your face with a box full of chocolates, okay? But take a little sample, take a little bit of chocolate, make yourself a cup of tea, okay? Make yourself a little sandwich. If you're living with people, tell them you want to be alone for 10 minutes. Your time is your time. If you are running on your nerves and you're not taking time out, you're going to become less of use. Okay? You're going to become useless. Okay? You're going to become useless if you're not going to give to yourself. If you've got kids, I understand how hard it is. I have a child myself, okay? I understand that finding time for yourself as a parent is not always as easy as it is for someone who's not got children, but you need to be creative enough and resourceful enough to find at least 20 minutes a day that is completely yours. That's your challenge, folks. This is probably one of the biggest challenges in this course. But I really want to push you forward for you to make time for you. Because the more you make time for you, it's not just going to be about sitting doing nothing. What you're going to do, the more that you take time for you, you're going to find that you're going to become more resourceful towards living the life of your dreams. You're going to find the more time you have for yourself, that you're going to devote that time to finding resources and how you can move forward in life. No one wants to sit still, but everybody's complaining that they can't move forward in life because they don't have any time. Make time. There is no excuse. Honestly, folks, this sounds harsh, but honestly, there is absolutely and utterly no excuse. Make time for yourself. 10 or 20 minutes a day, half an hour. And you're going to be amazed at how easy it is to find that extra time, and also how disciplined you're going to become to use that time to move yourself forward. Now, it doesn't need to be something like building a business. Maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe it's just to read a book. Maybe it's to write a book. Maybe it's to call that friend that you've not spoken to in like 10 years and you've just let 10 years slip by. Maybe it is to find that new job that you want. Maybe it is to start up that new business. Maybe it's to scale your business. Whatever it is, take time out for you. Because you're not going to sit still from taking time out. You're going to fill your tank so that you can become full of use. And so, folks, this concludes Module 14, and I will see you lovely, gorgeous people in the next module. Have a great day. God bless you, and I'll speak to you later. Bye-bye.